In this video, I'll be showing you what kind of man I had to become to be able to marry a Muslimah who's a hafiz, an alim, who wears the niqab, shows she's modest and beautiful, but shh, say mashallah tabarakallah, because I do not want your evil eye. She's also a teacher for orphan kids, like dream woman, tabarakallah, dream woman. By the way, at the initial point, when she already agreed to marry me, I was broke, no job, in debt, but she still chose me over the other people who were hafiz, rich, alim. There were guys who were this with proposals coming to her, but she still chose me, a revert coming from a family that's not, not a Muslim family. Not a lot of knowledge. I have some bits and pieces of knowledge, but I'm not that kind of a knowledgeable guy, alright? I'm just a revert. Let me tell you why she chose me and how you can do the same, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Noah and I help Muslims reach their full potential. Scroll down and subscribe if you want to improve your deen. For more than 2 years, maybe almost even 3 years, I was actively looking for a wife. And I had a lot of people who started to become interested in me, but I continuously failed again and again and again. Every time I kind of got close to someone, the marriage ended up not happening. There is always something that got in between, because I think I always went into the marriage with the wrong intention. And I think that's one of the reasons why these marriages were not happening. I valued deen and modesty. Obviously, that's extremely important. But if I'm being 100% honest, I was more so putting importance on beauty. And then I said, she will start wearing the hijab after marriage. She will start doing the prayers and the fasting after marriage. I'm gonna do that with her. I'm gonna help her, guide her in that thing. But that's not how you look for a spouse. You need to find a spouse that you're already happy with how they're looking now and how you see their future going. They should already be praying 5 times a day. They should already be wearing the hijab. It is basic of Islam. It's basic modesty. They should be doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for your sake, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a big difference. A lot of guys, they ignore that. They go with a woman who isn't wearing hijab, thinking she'll wear the hijab later. And even if she does it later, she'll wear it for you, not for Allah, and that's a problem. That being said, alhamdulillah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always put something in between me and all those women I got close to being married to. Because now, alhamdulillah, I found the best possible woman. Again, say tabarakallah, mashallah, no evil eye. No evil eye. Thank you. Let's continue. And I promise you, no matter what kind of guy you are right now, you can become this kind of person pretty fast that is actually attractive. Maybe a little bit more high value that some of these women would actually appreciate. Because I promise you, if you look back a few years ago, my wife would have hated me. Literally, I'm not kidding. This is not like, she would have hated me. If she met me a few years ago, she would not even look my way. But since then, I have grown a lot and I've put a lot more focus on my deen and on my gym, my fitness, my communication skills, trying to become a man, a provider, a man who's capable of handling any situation. At least that's what I'm striving to be. Right now, I'm gonna give you 7 traits that my wife said she really liked about me that kind of convinced her as to why she wanted to marry me. Number 1, one of the first things I have to say, it's so extremely important. But to be honest, I wouldn't have put this as number 1, but my wife kind of puts this as number 1, which is confidence. Not only confidence in yourself, but also confidence in your future, confidence in your ability, confidence in your way of speaking, confidence in the sense of you are able to make decisions by yourself, to not be a mama's boy. You're able to make decisions by yourself. Obviously, you respect your mother, you respect your father, you love them to death. But as a man, you need to be able to make decisions by yourself. It's one of the traits that my wife really liked about me. And if you really struggle with confidence, there's a bunch of small little things that you can do to actually build up that confidence. And it all starts with yourself from within. But this video isn't about that. I'm just telling you the traits that you need to have to become that kind of man. If you want me to make a video on confidence, let me know and I'll do that. Number 2, something that I would say is probably the most important thing, which is actual deen. Something that my wife liked about me. And I'm not saying I'm some kind of crazy guy who's on his deen. Not at all. But if you just do a couple of basic things and you do them well and you do them with the right intention, people will notice. You try to do your prayers, you try to do extra, mashallah. You do your fast in Ramadan, you try to do sunnah, mashallah. You try to read the Quran, memorize the Quran, and recite in a beautiful voice, mashallah. Try to improve yourself when it comes to deen, when it comes to your knowledge, when it comes to your speech. You don't speak like a guy, F you ships this, who is cursing like a little loser, to be honest with you. You speak like a Muslim and you implement words like Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar, Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. You incorporate all of these words and sentences, these Islamic sayings, in your speech. Insha'Allah. It's also going to help you with your deen. The third thing that I want to mention is to be able to be kind and gentle. A lot of people want to follow red pill community these days, and that advice is really good if you're looking for low value women, kind of, let me just say prostitutes, but saying it in a nice way. I'm not saying they're actually prostitutes, but I can kind of compare it to that a little bit. If you're looking for those kind of women, if you're looking for a one-night stand, you can follow that advice. If you're looking for a wife, a life partner, you're not going to be hating on them. You're not going to be disrespectful towards them. You're not going to be ghosting them or playing games with them. You're there for them. You're kind, you're loving, you give compliments, you give your time, you give your energy. That's what you have to do, especially if you want a wife. If you want to play around with girls, it's a different kind of conversation, but you're here to look for a wife, and not just any kind of wife. You're looking for the best possible wife that you can get. So you have to be kind and loving. Fourth thing that I'm going to mention is that you have to be physically fit. Come on. Yani, come on. This doesn't count for everyone, but most women are attracted to a man who's physically fit, because being physically fit, it's not just that you have a nice body. There are things behind that. It means that he had a goal to become fit. It means he went towards that goal. That means that he had discipline. He even goes for that goals. Even on the days he doesn't feel like it, he still went for it. Even on the days when he just wanted to sleep in, he still went to the gym and worked out. And he didn't want to work out. And he does that extra rep. And he does that extra day. And he does that extra hour in the gym to work hard. All of these kind of things are behind having a nice body. So you want to be physically fit. And some women also like it when men have a little stomach. I'm not saying you need to be shredded to the bone and have a six-pack, but you do need to work out. You do need to be strong. You can't be weak. Imagine that your woman is stronger than you. That's crazy, Yanni. You need to be able to pick up your woman and throw her around the room. If you can't do that, go to the gym. Number 5, talking about being fit. Being mentally fit is also extremely important. Being mentally fit in the sense of you are studying the deen, studying also other aspects of life that are kind of important. Maybe some kind of financial studies, maybe a kind of hobby that you want to study, maybe some general knowledge, whatever it might be. You need to be mentally fit. You need to be quick. You need to be able to come with a response, which also will lead directly into our next point, which is communication. Brother, actually, I don't think that people realize how important communication is. People are like communication is a superpower. Being able to communicate properly, being able to also argue properly. I'm not saying you have to argue with your wife, but being able to set up an argument logically and also even emotionally, because women are also kind of emotional, so you kind of need to know your way around that. It's a pretty deep struggle. I'm definitely no master at that. I'm more of a logical guy, but I'm trying to become more emotional and hit your arguments with that as well. Communication is extremely important. Again, talking about the kind and loving thing, this kind of has something to do with communication. Being mentally fit, this kind of has something to do with communication. The combination of all of this transforms into communication. You need to communicate with your woman. Don't ignore her. Text with her, call with her, be with her, talk with her. If she has something on her mind, let her vent. Just listen. Don't need to come with your logical response to all of these things. Just listen. Listen. Boom. That's it. Sometimes that's all they want. They don't want your help. They don't want your logical argument to what they actually need to do to fix their situation, to go into the best possible direction. All they hear is blah, 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 blah. They want to do the blah, blah, so you just need to listen. Know when to talk and when not to talk. That's important. Communicate properly with your woman. Something that also belongs into the realm of communication is your charm. You want to kind of be charming. Again, this falls under the umbrella of communication. So really, communication is important, because even confidence, all the way from back to number 1, is also communication. Even if you are a 1 out of 10 person who's confident, imagine how confident are you? You say, I'm actually very shy. I'm not confident at all. If that's your confidence level. But if you speak and act like you're confident, and you act like you're 9 out of 10 confident, that's communication. So you can kind of fake it till you make it, because then it's like a positive loophole, because if you speak that way, you see also the reaction of people and how you feel yourself, and you're kind of just going to become there. And the last point that I want to share with you guys is you need to be someone who can adapt to any kind of situation. If you have to move, you need to be able to adapt to that. If something happens, adapt to that situation. If a child comes that you didn't expect, maybe it's twins that you need to expect, adapt to the situation. If you need to move country from a European country to a third world country, or vice versa, adapt to the situation, adapt to the food, adapt to the mannerisms and to the culture. Be someone who can adapt from your situation. And if you can actually show that to your woman by stories that you tell her before you actually get married to her, because you're trying to look for a woman, right? That would be extremely good. Now, I'm going to give you guys a few bonus tips. Number one, it's to grow your beard. I see so many guys that are shaving your beard. First of all, I believe that it's haram. It's not just a sunnah beard. It's an obligation to keep your beard. The only way you can cut it is from your handspan. So grow your beard. If I would shave my beard, my woman wouldn't be attracted to me anymore. If I would be shaving it all the whole time, she would hate that. She would start crying. It's impossible. You need to keep your beard. If you want to have someone with good deen, a woman with good deen, and you be shaving your beard, even if it was allowed to shave your beard, you need to do the sunnah. Again, become a better man. Be a man that does sunnah. Be a man that does the sunnah. It's not that difficult. It's not that deep. Also, you gotta be persistent. And I'm not saying you gotta be persistent in the sense of you gotta stalk her or stalk her family. No. But you gotta be persistent, because my woman, she tried to reject me like 10, 20 times. 10, 20 times she trying to push me away. Wallah, she tried to push me away all the time. But I kept being persistent, nice and lovey-dovey, nice and chilly-willy, boom. And it's all gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay. And the last bonus tip I'm going to give you, and actually this tip is extremely important, which is that you have to be nice to her family. Maybe not like far family, but her close family that are most important to her, her parents, her brothers and sisters, and maybe cousins that like she loves. Be nice to them. And if you're going to be nice to them, she's going to be nice to you, inshallah. That's it for this video. Those are the traits, those are the tips that I'm giving you, that if you apply them to your life, if you become mentally fit and physically fit, and you're on your deen, and you work on your communication, and you want to be a man, an adaptable man who can adapt to any kind of situation, you want to become all of those things, then inshallah you're going to find a good wife. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, and this is completely off the top of my head, astaghfirullah, because I didn't prepare for this, the good men are for the good woman and the bad men are for the bad woman. Something like this. Like, I'm paraphrasing like crazy, but I'm gonna put the reference on screen, so you actually know what the verse is. Thank you for watching this video all the way until the end. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and peace.